Hi, it's Kevin May, the Editor-in-Chief of PhocusWire. So, Lax Poojary, you're the Chief Executive Officer, CEO, co-founder of Touringbird, which is Google Area 120's project that's become very public in the last month or so. We've been writing about it a lot. We've just come off stage.
Yep.
And talking in front of the tours and activities industry, and we're now going to kind of follow up with some of the questions that we didn't get round to. So there's lots of stuff that we've been talking about, suppliers and things like that. But
so I'm surprised that you still have questions that I haven't answered.
Look, there's loads of these things. So how do you rank the listings on Touringbird based on, because you're getting them from at the moment intermediaries, so Get Your Guide and Trip and etc. etc. How do you decide who comes at the top and who doesn't?
Yeah, so I think it's a very clear answer. We basically think about the user first, and whatever is right for the user, we basically try to make a decision on the user's behalf. So we take into account obviously the price, and then we look at the reviews, ratings, the quality of the photos. Is there a cancellation? What's the cancellation policy? Is there a mobile voucher included, and so on and so forth. But price is the primary driver because this is a meta aggregator. But if there are tours which have similar prices, which are similar tours, then we look at other attributes to rank.
Okay, so I mean that's interesting because you need a lot of data to do that. So how are you getting the data from? Is it from an API from Get Your Guide or Viator or something like that, and then you're disseminating what their review score is, etc., etc.?
So, great question. So I think in the first 6 months during the pilot phase, basically, we wanted to move fast. So we did not define our own feed specs or APIs. What we did was we worked with whatever is publicly available from partners. We worked with their APIs. They all have reviews, ratings, and all of that, the cancellation policy, so on and so forth. So we just get it from them, and then we build our own user experience on top of that.
Okay, and you were very clear when we were talking earlier that it is intermediaries at the moment, but you're not ruling out working with suppliers perhaps further down the line. They may not have the same capability as an online travel agency to kind of funnel that information down to you. So how would you handle that?
Yeah, look, I think we haven't thought through that far right now. Like, I think for us it's important to first get to where we want to get by aggregating the supply that's already available from OTAs. And yeah, we honestly haven't thought about working with suppliers at this point directly.
One of the really smart things, which I think got a lot of people's attention, and certainly when we first when we heard about Touringbird emerging from Area 120, was the way that you were bundling,
Unbundling,
and then unbundling and then bundling it together again, based on. Let's use the Eiffel Tower as a good example, because there are different ways you can skin that cat. So you can go up the Eiffel Tower, or you can go to stage 3, or you can have a guide, or you can skip the line. And those are individual products. And what you were doing was taking those out and then kind of mashing it all together again. I mean, how did you do that without having an official relationship with Viator, or did you?
So we have an official relationship with Viator because they're our partners. We have an official relationship with every.
But how, sorry, maybe I phrased the question incorrectly. I mean, so they were giving you the information and saying it's got 7 components. Now you build it yourself to get the price, or?
No. So as I said earlier as well, like our focus is on understanding how users purchase tours and activities. We did a lot of research, and what we quickly realized was, I think you gave the example for Eiffel Tower. Have you looked at how many different possibilities are there for Eiffel Tower when you go and try to book something for Eiffel Tower?
Yeah.
There are hundreds, maybe even thousands, right? How is a user supposed to select the tour that fits in nicely with what he wants to do? So currently what they do is, first they need to figure out what are the different entry levels within Eiffel Tower. Once they figure that out, what do they want to do? What combinations are available? And then finally, what is the best price? So what that does is, like, the user spends a lot of time across different properties, different surfaces, different products, researching, and even then they're not sure if they found the right price. So we started by working with different aggregators and then getting their inventory. And then initially what we did was we manually broke all those components down in the way the user thinks. once we had enough training data, now we are using machine learning to do the same things basically that we did manually previously. However, like we want to be 100% accurate with this. Right now, machine learning can get us up to like 85-90% accuracy, but we are sure as we have more training data, this will get more accurate.
It's remarkable. The first time all week at a travel conference that I've heard the words machine learning. So that's actually that's unusual these days, I tell you. But it's interesting. I mean, what were the conversations like that you had with the OTAs when you said that's what we want to do? We want to unbundle this thing. Were they thinking, hang on, that's crazy, you can't do that? Or how did that kind of process go?
No, I think they like it because I think end of the day, our goal is to connect a traveler who's looking for these experiences with the right travel partner, right? Mm-hmm. And if we are able to do that efficiently, then our partners will be happy, and we believe by building this model, our users are also happy. So it's a win-win situation for everyone.
What kind of pressure, maybe pressure's the wrong word, but what does that mean for them if they know that you are unbundling their products and that influences your meta search results? How do you think they are thinking about that?
No, I think
do you think they'll maybe start tweaking their pricing, knowing that you're able to do that?
No, so look, I think unbundling is a very strong word there. So what we are basically doing is, if we skip the line Eiffel Tower tour, then those tours will show up. But if there is a tour which is skip the line Eiffel Tower plus lunch or dinner at Eiffel Tower, then that's a different tour. So we're not changing the tour itself. What we did was we changed the way our UX looks, and then based on the selections that the user makes, we show those tours. Rather than having the user to go and scan through like thousands of those tours.
Okay. So last couple of things, because I understand there's gazillions of people here who want to talk to you, I would imagine. So, you said yesterday when we were talking, you were building the right product from the beginning. Well, what did you mean by that?
So one thing we noticed very early on was when you talk about in-destination activities, it is not just the paid commercial tours activities, right? Those are things that you might want to explore on your own. There are things that you can explore for free, and then finally, even with the commercial activities, like you don't say that I want to go to Paris and do like 5 walking tours. You're going to Paris, and you're probably going to Paris for the first time, or maybe you're going to Paris for the 5th time, and then you want to know things that are off the beaten path, or you're going with your family, or you're going with your wife. So those are the categories and curation that we did within the app. That's what I mean by doing it right from the very beginning, showing the user everything that's available at a destination, which includes free, unique local experiences and all of that, and giving the choice back to the user. Having said that, people want to know everything that is there to do at a destination, but then they get overwhelmed very quickly when they see all of that.
Right.
So all the categorization and this comparison shopping experience that we did with tours and activities actually helps with that part as well. So you have everything there, but users can navigate through the app very quickly and find what they want very quickly.
Okay, I asked you on stage, I'm going to ask you again. I mean, how confident are you that this, you've been very clear, it's part of Google 120, it's not part of Google Travel, etc., etc. But how confident are you that this could become a real thing rather than just a project that you're overseeing with I think you said earlier, the staff is in single digits still. I mean, this could ramp up and become a serious thing. Do you think that's a very, very strong possibility?
I would think so, yeah. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing it, right? I think.
But on that, you did say earlier that lots of things happen in Google 20 and fail.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of projects get cancelled at various stages.
Yeah.
The fact that we are here, we're announcing and talking about it publicly, means that I think, as I said, we're already seeing some strong signals of user growth and engagement. That gives us confidence that we are building something that fills a real user need. And yeah, at this point we are very confident.
Okay, so you're keeping the people back at Mountain View very happy, it would appear at the moment, so that's...
I don't know which people you're talking about, but yeah. I think
well, whoever makes decisions about whether to close things in Google 120 or not, I suppose.
I mean, look, I think those are internal discussions.
Yeah, of course. It would be great to be privy to those, but I'm sure we won't be. So, Lax Poojary, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you.
Thanks
a lot.